Hey guys, it's Will, and for this video, I'm going to go back to my old moniker, your favorite rural campaign and elections expert. And today, I want to talk about this administration's effort to try to make the argument that President Obama tried to undermine Donald Trump's election to the presidency in 2016. There's a specific reason and purpose behind this new endeavor, and today I'm going to explain it to you. I've been involved in the political process at every different level of government for over 30 years, everything from school board elections all the way up to presidential elections. And I can tell you that since 2014, when Donald Trump came onto the scene in regard to his presidential run, the entire goal of his campaign and his administration has been to undermine the credibility of the federal government. Let's talk about why. First, by tearing apart the watchdog and oversight organizations that make sure there isn't fraud in government, it allows the president and his family to monetize from the position of the presidency. What do I mean by that? Well, it means the things that would have been called ethical violations in the past and would have been investigated as such, and people would have been held accountable, no longer fall into that category. Everything from during his first administration, forcing people coming here from other countries to negotiate with the United States to stay at his hotels and his properties, until it just became a regular course of action. Anytime the president traveled overseas where he could do it, he would stay at one of his own properties and overcharge the federal government for everything from Secret Service stays to the feeding of the staff that went along with the president. Simple little graphs across the country and across the world and across the administration that raised millions of dollars for his family. And look, that's just been put on steroids during his second administration. And the president doesn't even hide it. He literally told people, if you write checks for millions of dollars at a fundraiser in Mar-a-Lago, I will pass programs that are beneficial to you in the energy sector. He said it out loud. The media reported on it. There's no doubt that it happened. And yet, to date, he's never been held accountable. In addition to that, both the president, his family members, and close contacts of his have investments in the companies that benefit from the administration's policies on everything from education and school privatization to healthcare to private prisons because of immigration reform, even to transportation. The president and his family have their tendrils reaching down into multiple profit schemes as policies change and privatization grows at an alarming level. The undermining of the credibility of the federal government even extends to the money supply. Look at what they're doing with their attacks on the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell and the money supply. Look at what the tariffs are doing to long-term bond yields, etc. They're trying to undermine confidence while at the same time introducing cryptocurrency to become a same level money transaction product that the Federal Reserve uses money for, American cash and US dollars for right now. It's gotten so bad that there are other governments around the world that are critically considering not using the US dollar anymore as the standard for trade in their country. And the president's made billions off the cryptocurrency scheme, while he's pushed past and advocated for policies to make cryptocurrency a regular part of international trade and life. Now, once you've undermined the credibility of the government and you've changed the law so that it becomes a privatization funnel for you and your family and your closest wealthy friends, you have to keep that process in place. And the way you do that is by undermining the credibility of the elections. Don't take my word for it, anyone. Go research it yourself. President Obama stood up right after the election and said that Donald Trump was a legitimate president. That even with the interference from Russia, and I'm going to talk to you about that in just a minute. Even with the interference from Russia, Donald Trump was a legitimate president. Hillary Clinton immediately conceded to Donald Trump and came out and announced that the world and the United States and the people of the United States needed to accept that and follow Donald Trump as our leader. And we did. Kicking and screaming and ranting and raving, some of us, we did. And yet now what are they doing? They're fabricating these stories. They're making up these lies that somehow the Obama administration tried to undermine Trump as president or prevent him from coming into office. These are lies. They are not true. Why do they say it? Because they know that in doing so, they undermine the confidence of the American people in the federal election process. And by doing that, they can pass more stringent laws for problems that don't exist. Did you know that there have been studies that were done after the last election that show that legal voter suppression made a difference in the election between Vice President Harris and Donald Trump? Legitimate studies show that we have passed so many laws in this country to make it difficult to vote that legal voter suppression made the difference in the last election. And these claims that are being tossed out there to undermine credibility in the American election process are nothing more than an effort to be able to continue and ramp up and put those draconian measures on steroids. More laws passed saying you have to have ID. More laws passed reducing the number of voting machines. More laws passed making it more complicated to vote. More laws passed not allowing you to skip as many elections in between your votes. All of these are designed to undermine credibility in the American election process and make it so that their interests can be protected in future elections through legal voter suppression. And when it comes to Russian interference in the 2016 election, the supporters of the president may not like it, but there's absolutely no doubt that it happened. First of all, the Russians spent hundreds of millions of dollars dumping social media campaigns into the key swing states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, etc. And we've had 2 different studies that have been done that showed that those had consequential results, leading to as much as a 1 to 2% change in overall voting in those states. Basically building off of Comey's press conference saying that the investigation of Hillary Clinton was going to be reopened again. All Americans, regardless of their political ideology, Democrat, Republican, Independent, or non-political, should be concerned with foreign governments interfering in our elections. And they did in a big way in 2016. And they tried to continue that in 2020 and 2024. If we loosen up the security aspects of making sure that can't happen again, you can damn well rest assured that it will. It will. So I want to encourage you. Do your own research through legitimate news organizations, and you're going to learn that all of these allegations that are being made against President Obama and the tamping down of the legitimacy of Obama's recognition as Trump for president, as president, are all bullshit. They're not true. They're completely false. We've only got one republic, folks. And if we give it away, shame on us, because in the end, we'll be the ones to blame.